And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Oh my God.
And I can only hope.
What does that mean?
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait and
biggest fan. It never has been, but especially isn't these days. I've made some stupid choices.
I think that's really important that you see me as a human being, because I think a lot of people don't. So I don't know. I want that disclaimer out there.
All of Hollywood's like, yep, let's make her a thing. Let's make her a thing. But she's never made a movie that's been successful.
But it's also really important to me that I share with you not only the really good, exciting moments, but also like the little blips where I just don't.
Rachel Zegler might still be clinging to her last scraps of Hollywood fame. But London has spoken, and it's serving straight up cold, brutal honesty. The spotlight she was banking on, already flickering. Her so-called grand comeback, it's spiraling, and the curtain hasn't even lifted yet. This was supposed to be Rachel's reinvention, her watch me conquer the stage moment. Well, in Evita at the iconic London Palladium, the kind of role legends dream about. But instead of a dazzling debut, we're watching a disaster unfold in real time, and the worst part, the receipts are public, all of them. All you have to do is click on the official ticketing website, pick a date, pick a section, any seat. It's a wall of green, a haunting, humiliating sea of unclaimed seats. No buzz, no frenzy, just Rachel's face staring back at you from empty charts, begging someone, anyone, to care. The Palladium isn't just any theater. We're talking over 2,200 velvet-lined seats in one of the most prestigious venues in the West End. This place is where stars shine. It's not for the barely believable B-listers with a chip on their shoulder and a flopped Disney movie under their belt.
Rachel Zegler is a no-name actress. She's barely been in anything, actually. If you look at her IMDb, West Side Story was the first one it was the first movie she was in, basically.
No buzz, no panic buying, no fan stampede, just crickets. It's like the entire city collectively shrugged. Her face is slapped across posters with phrases like Golden Globe winner and Disney's Snow White, as if those accolades still mean something. Spoiler alert, they don't. Especially not in London. And now the PR team is panicking, scrambling to salvage something from the wreckage, but the numbers don't lie. People aren't showing up. Not even curious onlookers are biting. It's like the public saw the name Rachel Zegler and said, no thanks, we're good. The box office isn't whispering rejection, it's screaming it, loudly, repeatedly. And honestly, the theater crowd doesn't care about Hollywood fluff or who kissed which prince on a red carpet. They care about the work. And Zegler's glow up.
You're one of the only ones there, just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself. One of the most unlikable humans
That
ever.
is sadder than when the original Snow White.
So let's be real. If this was supposed to be her next chapter, her career evolution, then somebody better rewrite the script because the reviews are already in. And spoiler, it's silence. A whole lot of it. Defenders can try to play the she's new to theater card, but London isn't a training ground. You either wow the crowd or they walk away. It's not about being famous, it's about being good. And right now, that glowing green seating chart says it all. The crowd is speaking loudly. And what they're saying is, we're not buying what you're selling. You can't filter this. You can't PR spin an empty house. And when even the cheap seats stay empty night after night, it's not a slow start, it's a full-blown rejection.
What can be said about this level of narcissism? Here, please, enjoy.
Want to see what real demand looks like? Just peek at John Lithgow's show, happening at the same time in the same city. No social media buzz, no viral TikToks. And yet, his ticket chart is lit up with limited seating and real excitement. Now take a look at Rachel. She's playing Eva Perón, for heaven's sake. One of the most iconic, emotionally intense roles in musical theater. And she can't even sell out a random Tuesday? This isn't just a bad launch. This is a PR nightmare with a spotlight and a stage. It begs the real question. What happens when the so-called golden girl of Hollywood can't even move theater tickets. The illusion is cracking. The fantasy is unraveling, and it's happening live. And let's not pretend this is just some tiny venue either. This isn't an off-West End experiment in a black box theater. This is the London Palladium, darling. Big lights, big money, and big expectations. With over 2,200 seats, this place is a temple for the elite. It's not handed out like a party favor for showing up to press junkets with a forced smile. Still, somehow, Rachel landed it. She's the headliner. And yet, every night, the chart stays green. Every single row. It's not just a slow trickle. It's a drought. People aren't even curious. It's not even hate at this point. It's worse. It's indifference. The audience doesn't even care enough to criticize. And in showbiz, that's the kiss of death.
I think we're one of the only ones there, just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself. One of the most unlikable humans.
That
ever.
is sadder than when the original Snow White.
Scandals? You can survive them. A flop, you can bounce back. But when people just don't care, that's when careers quietly die. Let's not forget, this is not her first public stumble. West Side Story bombed, even with Spielberg backing her. Then Snow White rolled in and delivered an epic faceplant. And now, Evita is joining the train wreck lineup. It's a pattern now, one that screams not rising star, but overhyped liability. She was crowned before she earned it, and the industry's starting to realize it. Because on stage, hype doesn't save you, talent does. And if the curtain rises to silence, well, not even a Golden Globe can cover up that echo. Let's talk dollars for a minute. Because while stans and critics can argue all day over whether Rachel can act, the numbers, oh baby, the numbers don't lie. Snow White was supposed to be her glittery billion-dollar launch pad, a Disney princess reimagined. But instead of fireworks, it fizzled into financial chaos. Disney tried to spin it. It made $200 million worldwide. But here's the tea, that's gross, not net. After theaters take their chunk, which is usually a whopping 40% or more, Disney's left holding maybe $100 million, 0 cents. Sounds okay until you realize they spent somewhere north of $350 million, 0 cents, on production and marketing combined. Yeah, you read that right. That's a $250,000 disaster. That's not a minor setback. That's a who authorized this mess situation. In any sane world, heads be rolling. Execs should be out of jobs. Stars should be lying low, rebranding, doing indie films for credibility. But not Rachel. Oh no. She was handed Evita like none of it happened. Like she hadn't just steered a Titanic-sized flop straight into an iceberg. And now, that same bad energy is dragging Evita down with it. From Snow Queen to Stage Ghost. The fall is real and it's fast. Let's get specific about Evita, because if this was Disney's soft reboot for Rachel's image, it's already gone nuclear in the worst way. This was supposed to be her theater redemption arc, a big deal role in a massive West End production at London's Palladium, the same historic venue that's hosted royalty and icons, the crown jewel of London's theater scene. But the ticket charts, they're screaming green. Every date in June, open. July, still green. August and September, ghost towns. The box office is glowing like a traffic light stuck on go, and absolutely no one is going. You'd think she was doing a middle school play in a church basement with the way seats are sitting untouched. It's not bad, it's humiliating. And worse, she's not alone in London theater right now. Other big names are pulling crowds. John Lithgow's show is nearly sold out. His name means something. Rachel's just sparks apathy. And here's where it gets brutal. It's not about talent at this point. This is about perception. The public just isn't feeling her. She doesn't spark curiosity. She sparks eye rolls. And audiences, they remember. They remember her Snow White meltdown. They remember her dragging beloved characters, mocking Disney classics, shading fans like she's allergic to humility. That whole press tour, it alienated an entire generation of moviegoers. And here's the truth about theater fans. They talk, they plan, they book months in advance. If they're not buying now, baby, they're not buying later either. The excuses her PR team will push, it's early. Marketing hasn't kicked in. Those don't fly here. This isn't a slow start, it's a collapse. And it's pulling Rachel's already fragile public image straight into the abyss. What was supposed to be her bounce back moment, it's shaping up to be a disaster so loud, even the ushers are whispering. Let's rewind the wreckage. West Side Story, Spielberg's golden ticket, Oscar buzz, media darling treatment, and still, it couldn't crack $80 million. 0 cents. Oof. Snow White, a fairy tale flameout. She was handed the keys to Disney's kingdom and decided to trash the source material on the press tour. She called the prince a stalker, mocked the original, and acted like the 1937 film was beneath her. Organ Bilwat. And now, Evita. This was supposed to clean up the mess and is turning into the biggest mess yet. Disney is bleeding money. Rachel's playing the victim, and the warning signs, they've turned into billboards. Even the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which made some profit, didn't owe that success to her. The brand carried it, not Rachel. People went in spite of her, not for her. That's not stardom. That's deadweight. The film industry is changing. Charisma doesn't cut it anymore. Studios want return on investment. And Rachel's all right, fully in the red. Casting directors are taking note. Her name, quietly being flagged as risky. Nobody wants to be the exec who bets big on her and ends up being the punchline on social media for the next bomb. Instead, it's an embarrassment unraveling in real time, one green ticket chart at a time.